Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out early. Welcome to our second general session for the high volume track. This is one of the sessions where we're going to tackle the room by room enhancements that can be achieved with technology. We picked some rather broad categories here in terms of gathering and private spaces. On the gathering side of things, you're thinking about great rooms, family rooms. Kitchens are gathering spaces. On the private side, it's more master suite and bedroom sort of stuff. So Melissa Andresko, who is the Chief Brand Officer for Lutron, which is the inventor of the lighting dimmer and an innovator in light technology for 60 plus years, 70 years, 60, 70 years, a long time. Let's just say a long time. Melissa's with us. She's been with Lutron for 25 years. We've been working together in this space for a good long while. So happy to have you speaking for the first time. I'm going to just keep going down the line. Tony Pratte is the builder guy. I think that's your official title, right?
Pretty much. I run the market in St. Louis.
He at the sound room, which is I'm going to call it a venerable player in the technology integration space. Started as a stereo store. We'll dig in a little bit more on that, but one of the really quality players in the country and in the little known hamlet of St. Louis.
That's right. St. Louis metropolitan
We're putting you on
area.
the big stage now. I can say that because I'm from Chicago, and we always
that's
like to
okay.
rub you St. Louis folks, your faces in it a little bit. But that's okay. You got a better baseball team.
That's right.
And
you have the better hockey team.
I don't care about hockey. And then Janet Benavidez is with Shea Homes, and your title is VP Sales and Marketing for Shea Homes at the corporate level, right?
Correct.
So you've got a team of folks out in the field at the various divisions that are reporting to you, and Shea is one of our big builders, a top 30 builder that has really embraced technology in all aspects and innovation in all aspects. So we're really thrilled to have you here to provide some perspective. I told you we're tackling the room by room concept. We're trying to give you some examples of how technology can enhance those different rooms and spaces. Before we dig into the rest of the flow of this, though, we're actually going to hear from our sponsor for this session this morning, which is Level, and represented in the person of Sean Pill, who's the Senior Business Development Director for Level. Take it away, Sean.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be sponsoring this session, first session of the day. It's going to be a long day, so tried to keep it kind of fun and upbeat this morning. We'll have a couple of videos to show you. Wanted to take this time, though, to introduce you to a couple of the products from Level Home. Many of you may be familiar with them already. If you're not, this will be a great introduction for you. So I want to start with a quick video about our Level Bolt product. This is a smart lock that sits inside of the door frame. It's completely invisible to the customer. So we'll do a quick video.
My door is always open. This is what we tell our loved ones, the people in our lives who are forever welcome in our homes. Now it truly can be, and you don't have to change a thing. Meet the Level Bolt, the world's first invisible smart lock designed to fit seamlessly inside your door. Thoughtfully crafted for effortless installation and battery replacement. And engineered from the ground up to deliver efficiency, reliability, and quality you can trust. The Level Bolt invisibly offers you and your loved ones new opportunities to live in the moment.
Unlock the front door.
To truly invite people in. To have a door that's always open. Same keys, same look, same you, and a world of new ways to say, welcome home.
So I think we all can probably share the same frustration with smart locks. There's some challenges that we typically see with a lot of the products in the market. Battery life is always a concern. The ease of install is a concern. just the look and feel of them. We always joke that it looks like hockey pucks and calculators on your door. It's not the best experience for your homeowners. And so we really set out in founding the company to figure out a way to reinvent the smart lock. Take away those concerns, make it a great experience for the home builder, make it a great experience for your homeowners. And that was really our mission in 2016 when we were founded. So our founders came from Apple. You'll notice kind of an Apple look and feel to our products, to our packaging, and even the integrations that we do. It integrates with Apple Home. So that was really kind of the main thing that they were looking at when they founded the company, is how can we make that smart lock process better. So design for a better everyday was kind of that motto that we started with. What they did is they took that existing deadbolt technology that's been around for decades and decades and reimagined it. They took that and developed the level bolt. Again, it sits inside the door frame entirely, or inside the door entirely. The battery, the motor, the housing, the gears, everything is completely recessed, so that the only thing that a customer is going to see is a little level logo on the bolt itself on the frame of the door. So everything completely hidden, and makes it so it's a smart lock, turning your existing dumb lock into something that they can use as a smart home feature. So the level lock bolt edition was that first product. From there, we grew into the level lock. There's also a level lock touch. This includes the inner and outer bezels of the lock, so it's that entire smart lock solution. So this one is, again, recessed inside the door, but you have level products on the inner and outer part of the doors. Everything that you would want from a smart lock, you get from this. You get highest ratings for BHMA, for ANSI. You get a commercial fire rating, so that you're not compromising any of the safety by using this product. It does integrate with Apple. We also have a Wi-Fi bridge, so you can use this remotely. You can utilize this with Google, Alexa, so really any of those DIY smart home platforms that you may be using, this is compatible with. And also we have a 3 times battery life over a lot of the competitors on the market. So that level bolt product, with one CR2 battery, you can get up to 12 months of battery life on average use. So you're not worrying about changing 4 AA or AAA batteries every 3 or 4 months. So quick little animation here. You can kind of see again how that works. That deadbolt slides out. You can unscrew the cap, pull the battery in and out, and you can see all the gears and all the mechanics that are sitting inside of the door there. You will see our level touch as well. So that inner and outer bezel has captive touch to it. So you can touch the bezel to lock and unlock it. So again, more ways to interact with your lock. We also have NFC key fobs and key cards. It's great for kids to have a little key fob on their backpack when they get home from school. They can use that to lock and unlock it as well. Personally, for me, I'm an Apple user, so I integrate mine through Apple Home. And you'll see one of our products coming up here that you can actually use your Apple Watch or your Apple iPhone to lock and unlock as another way to integrate with it. So all that being done, and still the smallest smart lock on the market. So you can see our product there on the far right compared to a couple other products that are on the market. Pretty substantial size difference there. So again, not ruining the aesthetic of the outside of the door. So here's the suite of products. Again, the level bolt on the right side, that's one that's completely recessed. You'll see the level lock, not pictured here, is the level touch. That's in the middle, and then that level lock plus on the left. The look and feel is the same. You just get some more technology, kind of the more left that you go here on the slide. And it does come in 4 different finishes. So again, the intent is to match the aesthetic of your door hardware. So regardless of what kind of door hardware you're using for your handle set, we design a finish that should pretty closely match it. All right, so a quick video on the Lock Plus, which is the lock that comes with the Apple Home keys for using your iPhone and your Apple Watch. All right, and just one final mention. So we do have some OEM partnerships. So really for your homeowners that have maybe a higher end solution, some homes have $5,000, $10,000 doors, a couple $1,000 handle sets. Again, we're designed to work with those as well. So you can see Rocky Mountain, Omnia, Rejuvenation are all partnerships that we have. But really the intent is to match whatever handle set that you're designing with your new homes, and just trying to make sure it's as aesthetically pleasing as possible to the customer. So one final video just to send you out here. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I promise there's music.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Siri, unlock house.
If you're looking for a smart lock that doesn't scream smart lock, Level has you covered with this Level Lock Plus.
Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope.
Boom. Home key is legit.
A tap of your device on the door and voila.
And you can even unlock with your Apple Watch.
Meanwhile, Apple's hottest new accessory is a $330 physical lock that can unlock a door with a simple tap from an iPhone or an Apple Watch. But of course, no headphone jack.
Well, get this, I read that Apple is now selling a door lock for your house that you can unlock with an iPhone. So in case you lose your iPhone, make sure to keep a spare one under the mat.
Apple HomeKey is by far the coolest way to get into your house. So cool.
Everything that can be on your phone probably should be on your phone.
All right, well, thank you again for letting us sponsor this morning, and looking forward to seeing many of you upstairs in the expo hall. Thank you.
Great job, Sean. I think locks were not a technology category 15 years ago, were they? And I think what's really interesting is, advancements like this, that with the technology being hidden and embedded, aesthetics are so important on the lighting side of things, but we're seeing that start to take hold in categories like locks, and you're jealous of the PR that they got there, I think.
It's
probably.
amazing. Good job.
So with that, let's turn it over to Melissa, who's going to share a little bit of research, some of your original Lutron research, and then talk about lighting and natural light control enhancements in some of the targeted spaces. Okay, I'm going to hand the wand off to you there.
Thank you. So good morning, everybody. As John said with his nice warm welcome, my name is Melissa Andresko. I have been with Lutron for 25 plus years. And if you're not familiar with Lutron, over the years we have really expanded our categories. We started out in the 1960s as that initial rotary dimmer that I will admit as a child, I used to pull the knobs off at my grandmother's house and we'd hide them. And now here I am working for that company. So we've come full circle.
That's evil, hiding the dimmer knob. Yeah.
I used to blame my cousins. That was the best part. So today we do everything from non-connected dimmers that are controlling single lights to full house connected systems that can control small spaces, entire homes, as well as a complete line of motorized shades, and also our newest addition, which is intelligent light fixtures. So a few years ago, we acquired a company called Ketra, and Ketra products essentially mimic the outside light indoors. So as we know, wellness is becoming such a hot topic right now. People really want to feel that connection to nature, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So make sure I push the right button here. So just as a starting out, research shows us that, and this is no secret, that people are craving technology. And it's not just about moving into a home and having the ability to add it later. It's about moving into a home and having that home ready to use. People want that instant gratification of being able to feel those benefits of convenience, of peace of mind, of security, of wellness, and being able to have friends over soon after they move in and be able to kind of show off that house. So while pre-wiring is always great for those add-ons that they might want to do later and maybe need to be a little bit more customizable than a standard, there's still some expectation today that their house is going to be working for them on day one and that they're going to be able to enjoy some of those benefits. So if we take a look at just the market size, and these numbers just continue to wow me every year when this new research comes out, but this category is not slowing down anytime soon. And obviously we've seen such rapid expansion and so much growth. And if we look here, the Consumer Technology Association, which by the way is the group that puts on the big Consumer Electronics Show every January in Las Vegas. And I have the pleasure of serving on the board of that association. So this research is always so fascinating to me. But if we look at these numbers, 73.2 million people, or 60% of US market, they're planning to buy smart home products in the next 12 months. And the most astonishing part that I wanted to save as the aha moment is the average number of products these people are expecting to buy for their home is 31. So this is a tremendous opportunity for you to get ahead of this purchasing plan that they already have. So again, expectation is clearly there if they're planning to, be adding this many products in such a short amount of time. So I always look forward to these stats.
Are we at the point where everybody understands that the buyers want this stuff? I hope everyone in this room is at that point, and so it's how do we deliver? It's not do we deliver, it's how do we deliver.
Can I actually take a quick audience poll? How many of you are using your Electricians today to help you figure out your smart home offerings, just by show of hands? Okay, a couple. How many of you are using what we'll call an integrator, a person who's coming in? Okay, a few more.
Doing both.
And how many of you are kind of figuring it out on your own? Oh boy, we should talk. We can help. Hook you up with the right people. So again, let's talk about how people want to use their home. So Lutron teamed up with Harris late last year, and we did what we called a lighting study. Just to understand, obviously the smart home is rich with so many different products, so many different features, lots of different ways we could take this, but we really wanted to understand how lighting played a part in all of this. And here's some really good statistics. So 90% of US homeowners said that it's important that their home help them relax and disconnect from work and or the outside world. And for many, it's all about creating that right ambiance. So again, it's being able to come home, maybe you walk in, the music's at the right level, the lights are at the right level. When you're winding down for the night, your shades are closing, music's again at a different level. So again, it's how do we use this home to create that wellness space and that space where you're truly gonna feel like you're in sort of this different world than your hectic work life.
Do you think that's newer, just this mood control modality? It seems like it is. It's like people are more conscious of their mental health and wellness. And so I think there's a more self-conscious approach to that stuff than I don't remember thinking about that stuff when I was a kid.
Well, you know what, John?
Adult.
I think, and feel free to jump in here. I think part of this also has to do with the fact that we were home for so many years. There was no disconnecting from work and home, and now so many of us are going back to the office. And that transition for a lot of people has been difficult. You went from working from home. Many people are now in the office at least a handful of days a week, if not 5 days a week. So you're now looking to your home as that place where you can disconnect, where before it was all the same place. It was where you were working, it was where you were relaxing, kids were learning, whatever. So I think that may have a lot to do with it as well, that this home has become this escape now from going back to the office.
Yeah, I think we've thought for years about these hard benefits like convenience, which is time savings and ease, and then energy conservation. And now we're talking about these softer benefits that maybe aren't as quantifiable, but really important.
Well, and this stat kind of goes to that point. So, again, from the Lutron lighting study, 4 in 5 homeowners say that the ability to adjust lighting is one of the most important factors to creating that ambiance. So when you think about the power of light, right? So homes are designed where rooms are clearly multi-purpose, right? Maybe your kitchen is the place where kids are doing homework, maybe you're entertaining friends with cocktails, you're cooking dinner, having family dinners. Each one of those requires the right light level, and each one is going to set the mood. And the best way to do that, obviously, is going to be with control of light. So we see lighting really rising to the top as one of those key things that are helping people feel that energy and that relaxation, when they're in their space. So I think one of the most important things to think about, again, I've been in this industry 25 years, back in the, late 90s, early 2000s, this concept of home theater was very popular. Lutron, if you remember, we had our exhibit in Disney World.
Remember the Rick Schuett days.
At the Rick Schuett days, we actually had an exhibit in Epcot, and it was called the Ultimate Home Theater Experience. We talk about being ahead of the time down there to the Disney World audience. And, I think when we take a look at where we've evolved, we went through this period where, okay, it was home theaters, it was for the wealthy and really no one else. And then we started hearing about the Internet of Things, and people were connecting anything and everything that could be connected. And now, we're at this inflection point where a lot of those products that were once designed really more for the high-end homes are now coming a lot more downstream and mainstream. And I'm going to use a perfect example here, again, from Lutron. Lutron has been in the motorized shade business since the 1990s, believe it or not, so a very long time. And when we first came out with our motorized shades, they were hardwired. So power had to be run to each and every window, so really only designed for new construction. And the price of them made them pretty much designed only for the highest of high-end homes. So in the early 2000s, we took a step back as a company and said, you know what, the problems that motorized shades are solving are problems that every home is experiencing. It's reducing glare on TV screens, it's preserving your furniture, your artwork, your flooring. These are every home problems, not just high-end home problems. So we took a look at our engineering platforms and we said, you know what, we can do this. We re-engineered a completely new line of shades that are now battery powered, so they can be installed at any time, any size window, and they start at just under $300 a window. So again, helping bring a technology that was once, again, just for the wealthy is now much more downstream. And our shading business is unbelievable. We do a very good job with our dealers. We were talking earlier about the benefits of motorized shading. So that's just one example. I think another good example is in the audio space. We used to see so much of the, in-ceiling wired, which is still great solutions today. I have it in my own home, but you have companies like Sonos who have now made audio in the home so much simpler, plug-and-play solutions, and are delivering exceptional sound quality. So I think we're at this really exciting point in this market to see these wonderful products that offer tremendous benefits now being brought a little bit more downstream so that they're more affordable to all customers. So when we look at the different types of solutions we'll talk about lighting controls, I think the exciting news is that there are solutions for every home size and every home type. There are people who are never going to want to have connected products, let's face it. I had to convince my 70-year-old parents why they needed to use an app to control their phones. There's always going to be people who are skeptical, but there's always going to be people who appreciate walking into their laundry room and having a light automatically turn on while they're carrying a laundry basket. It's not a connected dimmer, but it adds that level of convenience. So, the fact that we're able to still offer those single light dimmers that are not connected, up to and including systems that do small spaces, wireless plug and play, put them in at any time, all the way up to structured wiring. So again, it's about, making these products more accessible to everyone and making sure that there are solutions for every home type and home size.
How do we get to simple solutions like that in terms of the trade collaboration, right? Like somebody's got to go through the house and think through the simple, basic lighting innovation, things that are going to make a difference. But is the average electrician going to do that? Is an integrator really going to?
Is that something you
guys are doing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
That's one of the first things we do when we're sitting there doing selections. We collaborate with the builder, obviously. We're their trade partner for it. They come in. We're probably the first person that's asking them how they're living in the house. Think about that. Every decision being made on this house up until they meet with a true low voltage integrator is what it's going to look like. Nobody bothers to ask, how are you going to live in the house until we get there? And that's where you start to see things. And you made the point about, walking in with the laundry basket. We've had, many times where we're dealing with, a $6-8 million house, a six-figure lighting system, and we'll put in those little occupancy lights just for bathrooms and laundry rooms because they don't need to be on the system.
Right.
And it saves the homeowner money and it gives them exactly what they need. So,
yeah.
But yes, it is the integrator. If you're not using an integrator, you are missing out on an opportunity for this.
It has to happen early, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and it also, I mean, to your point, the use of an integrator obviously eliminates you having to be the expert. And electricians can be a great resource for this as well. But a lot of times, some of these things might go beyond, whether the training. I mean, I'm sure you run into electricians on the jobs all the time. So maybe there's a world where there's a great combination of using both, but that integrator is really going to help, kind of take that house to the next level and help you take some of that workload off of you.
Well, I know I had this conversation with one of my larger ones in St. Louis, where I kind of joked with the way technology is going, and you know this as a builder. In 5 years, if it's electric, if it plugs into power, it's going to be tied to the internet somehow.
It will be.
And I used to tell this builder, I'm like, you're going to have to hire a technology coordinator inside the house. And he goes, no, I don't. I've got you. We're there to not only say what we're going to do, but yeah, this product you're looking at bringing in for, washer and dryer. To make it work, you're going to have to do this. Or yeah, that can, live inside the, global ecosystem of technology inside the house. Or yeah, that one's not going to work, but this one will. We're there to just kind of lend our expertise to you, not to sell you anything, but just to make it a better experience for all of us. So, absolutely.
Janet, I feel like you want to interject. I know we structured this so that Melissa would get through all of her presentation and then you would give a hot take, but why don't you just...
Everything Melissa has been going through is absolutely correct. I think our homeowners are looking for that technology. Lighting is a huge component. Being able to set schedules for your kids and being able to have the lights go down, or if you're upstairs and you want to make sure, did I turn off those lights? Being able to set up monitor sensors in rooms. By having the technology and being able to see, are the lights out downstairs, or it's 9 o'clock, lights out. You can set that up. Even the motion detectors, you can set them up to where if someone's not making a movement in a certain room after a certain time, save on electricity. I know how many times I am driven crazy with my kids leaving the lights on in the house, so it's huge. And the motorized shades, we've seen a huge increase in the take rate at our design studios. Customers want the ease. More than that, during the day, they want the openness that a lot of the traditional shades don't provide. They don't let in that natural lighting. So being able to have the motorized shades where you have that open window feel, just like our model show, when people go through, they love the openness, they love the lighting that comes through. So it offers that flexibility, and we've seen a huge take rate from that.
And the privacy factor, too. I mean, the privacy is huge for motorized shades as well.
Do you agree with Tony that in most cases we're not talking about how people live in the house, we're talking about what it's going to look like, and it's really the integrator is kind of point of the spear on how are you going to live in the house, or at least this integrator is. I mean, do you feel like we have that shortcoming that like we're so hung up on the finishes, the traditional finishes, and what the house looks like that we might not get into the lifestyle questions as deeply as we should?
I think it's a discipline. I know at Shea, we look at how people are going to live in the home. And that is a component of when we're designing our homes. We absolutely look at that, and we look at the technology and how customers are going to use it. We offer, and I'll be showing that, a foundation package of what comes included in our homes, and we absolutely look at what are those key components and where do they need to be placed to make it functional, to make it the best experience for our homeowners. But I do agree, you do have to sit down with the customers when you're at that point where they can customize and include additional features to find out which room is going to be the office. We might think they're going to use the traditional office. They might be using a different area, and make sure that all of those needs are met in those designated areas. So I think if you assume you're going to get yourself stuck in a situation, absolutely, you need to sit down and see how they're planning to use their home.
I just turned my traditional dining room into my Barbie collection room. I'm an avid Barbie collector, and I walked in and I said, no, this is going to be the Barbie room. And they said, no, this is the dining room. I'm like, no, I have another room that can be the dining room. So I'm a perfect example.
You have to bring pics next time.
No, I will.
Let's keep going.
Yeah,
we
talked about.
I don't want to get off schedule again.
We talked about motorized shades, so I'll keep going here. So I just want to again reemphasize the importance of the motorized shade products. So 89% of U.S. homeowners said that window coverings that optimize views and allow you to access nature are important in creating this connection to nature. And I could go on and on about the studies that talk about people wanting to feel this connection to the outdoors, and people just having this desire to have again, the shades open, the lights pouring in. You're seeing a lot of this indoor outdoor space becoming, as I'm sure you're all doing, or most of you are doing, more popular than ever. So again, this connection to nature is becoming even more important than we've seen in previous years, which is exciting. So talking just quickly about some of the solutions, if we had to break it down into 3 key areas, some of the takeaways that I would leave you with. So in a bedroom, number 1, motorized shades for privacy. Absolutely, positively. You can do blackouts, you can do shears, something that's gonna help you still preserve your view when you want, but black out the light when you want to have your restful night's sleep. Another good point, lighting controls on either side of the bed. It gives you, both people control, personalized control. If someone has to get up in the middle of the night, it can just be turning a light on very slightly, whether it's a table lamp. And again, these can be plug and play. I've got a lamp on either side of our bed. It's plugged in right to the wall, and it acts as this connected dimmer for me. I also love the idea of a panic button. One of the features that Lutron and most lighting systems will give you is the ability to touch one button and turn every light on in the house. So if you hear a noise, you push a button, all of a sudden your house lights up like a beacon on the block, and most likely going to scare someone away. Also good for helping any authorities find your home quickly if you let them know, hey, it's the house with all the lights on. And assuming that you have a connected doorbell, which probably most of you are doing, you want to be able to have quick access to your app, making sure that you can, see those notifications. If you hear that ding that we're also familiar with from our Ring products, if you hear that go off in the middle of the night, or you see that somebody's ringing your doorbell, making sure that you can quickly access that. One thing I would say, and I'm sure there's going to be people who disagree with me, is avoiding voice assistants in the bedroom. I think more and more Alexa has been talking back to us more than we've been talking to her.
Sometimes it's lively banter.
Yeah. So, I like to get a restful night's sleep. I'm sure there are probably ways to avoid that. But again, I think, voice assistants belong in the house. Absolutely. I've got many in my home. But I think in the bedroom, that's one place where maybe they can be in a different room.
Well, and speaking about sleep, I think it's a great way too in the primary bedroom to be able to set up a schedule to where your window coverings go up, your lights slowly start turning on. It's a much better way to wake up than having your alarm yelling at you or your Alexa.
Yeah, we do it with setting up morning scenes.
Yeah.
Same thing with evening scenes. That way it's, one command and everything happens.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think sleep is, we're maybe going to talk about it tomorrow morning, but sleep is an untended opportunity. It's the thing that people spend the most time on in their house, actually sleeping.
Yeah.
They're not conscious, but it goes with that mood setting.
Yeah.
Is good sleep goes with the mood setting too. Yeah.
So next up, primary bathroom. So interestingly enough, the National Kitchen and Bath Association at their KBIS show earlier this year talked about these trends for the primary bathroom. Some of the designers were saying these are becoming the center points of the home. I don't know if any of you are experiencing that right now, but the primary bathroom is taking on really a life of its own. So a couple pointers for there would be, again, motorized shades, especially for those hard to reach windows. I don't know how many homes I've seen that had that awkward, hard to reach window behind the tub. I've got 2 of them and I'm like,
jump in the tub
design
to
this.
open them.
But luckily I've got a shade on those. And of course, lighting controls to help you create that spa-like experience. And especially, there's a product that Lutron makes, again, this Ketra lighting system where you can, color tune and make it pinks and purples and just create this wonderful environment. And then of course, wireless speakers, because what would a spa-like experience be without the right music? So again, these plug and play speakers, great addition in that room. And then finally, the family room. Now this is the area where I think you're gonna go, all in, right? So lighting controls to help again with that TV viewing environment. It gives the room that flexibility where, again, entertaining, maybe it's the yoga room, the homework room, motorized shades, the must for helping with that, that glare and preserving furniture and artwork. the wireless speakers again, and again, this is a great place for a voice assistant, and you see one right there on that table. So just my little tips and tricks. Here's how to get in touch with me. Please, by all means, take a picture of this slide. Feel free to reach out. You can connect with Lutron on various social media platforms. I will be here all day today, and I'd be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have or any concerns. And again, thank you for being here. And I guess I'm going to turn it over now to
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah, I just want to comment on, Janet, did you want to add anything else on?
No, I think we were discussing it as we were going through, but I
Yeah.
think more than anything, it's having the customers have that flexibility of being able to set those moods, whether it's in their master bedrooms, in their family rooms to movie settings. They have the tools, they're out there. So just having them be able to utilize them is huge.
I think on motorized shades, all I wanted to say was it kind of looked like you're hawking motorized shades, but aren't we headed towards mass penetration of motorized shades?
Oh,
Aren't
absolutely.
the majority of shades going to be motorized in 5 years, like 80%, like it'll be a one-off that they're not motorized? Are we headed there?
I mean, if you look at the number of companies that are offering motorized shades, it's significant. I mean, Lutron's been doing it a long time, but lots of companies have been doing it a long time as well. So I do think that, you know, again, when people start to realize that these types of products are not gadgets, they're offering benefits, they're solving real world problems that you have in your house, that's when you're going to continue to see this broader adoption of
It's the
shades.
critical mass. It's knee of
really
the curve
is.
sort of stuff. It's like people have experienced it enough. They're like, why aren't we doing this on all of our windows?
You know where we're seeing it a lot too, and I've heard this from many shade companies, is with the aging in place community. I mean, you've got people with limited mobility. You know, I was speaking with homeowners about a year and a half ago who don't have the ability to twist the blinds anymore. The whatever the stick on your shades would be called. And you know, so this woman said to me, I haven't been able to open my windows in years because I don't have that mobility anymore. So one button, and now that couple has the ability to have sunlight streaming into their home. So I think as we, you know, see these populations getting older, and you know, we need to become caretakers to these folks, I think that's going to be a great solution from a health and safety perspective as well.
Cool.
Well, you have to get shades anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to put shades in the house. It doesn't matter. You have to have some kind of window treatments.
Yep.
So as motorized shades become cheaper and cheaper, there's really no cost benefit to doing non-motorized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
Tony, take us away.
All right.
On your little tour.
So we're going to just kind of go room by room on some things. And you know, traditionally the kitchen's always been really the family really gathering spot. You know, that's how we kind of look at it. And now, I always look at things.
I put this slide in here for a reason.
Yeah.
You should go to the Sound Room website, because when we were preparing these slides, I went to Tony's website, and they have the best organized presentation of technology I've seen any integrator do. They've got it category by category at the product level. They have the rooms, the outdoor, all of it spec'd with specific ideas and beautiful photography and stuff. And you should download this brochure and go to school on it.
Yeah, this is actually a printed brochure that we hand out to clients.
I just
it's
wanted
not
to
cheap.
do that commercial for you, because you guys did a great job. And then we'll use some of those photos in the slides.
So in the kitchen, you know, this is where the family kind of gathers. It's where you entertain. It's where you do everything. So we spend more and more of our time sitting in here. So as you know, we talked about earlier, you're going to have lighting control in here. You're going to have motorized window treatments. But some of the things that we are starting to see that really are appropriate is you got to make sure you have Wi-Fi coverage, solid Wi-Fi coverage, because a lot of your appliances now going to live on the Wi-Fi. You need to be able to, you know, download that recipe right off the oven. If I don't have solid Wi-Fi in this kitchen, I'm stuck. You know, when we get into lights are getting smaller and smaller. You're doing a lot of 4-inch lights now. Well, typically in a house, if you're doing any kind of in-ceiling speakers, they're 6-inch, 8-inch, kind of ugly, right? Well, now they're making more discrete opening speakers. that mimic the can lights you put in. Now what these will do, they are smaller, but what it allows you to do, you have to put in a couple more. So instead of 2, you put in 4, but it allows the music to be spread out and played at a lower level. Because if we're in the kitchen, are we really rocking out to music? No, it's background. Well, that might be. We might be.
Depends on how many cocktails, right?
But if we're entertaining, we're not. We want the background music, but we also want to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And systems like that allow you to do that.
Tony, they're architectural lighting fixtures, not cans.
Well,
We could call them cans in this room.
low voltage integrator.
But we won't call them cans to our customers.
I've been living in the construction world for 30 plus years. They're can lights.
I remember when I visited the guys at Polk Audio 20 years ago, they said, if we call it a back box, this is where an in-wall speaker goes, back box resonates it or isolates it. If we call it a back box, it's $50. If we call it a performance enclosure, it's $150.
Yeah. That's how it works. So these are the big things you want to take away in the kitchen. You can do both wireless or wired speakers. You can do both of them and still get Sonos. You can combine wired and wireless speakers together. There's a lot of ways to do it. Integrators can walk you through it. If you do not have an integrator, I would suggest finding a good one that understands both the functionality of more custom products, but also understands the production timelines you all need. Because let's face it, in the construction world, all that matters is the timeline sometimes. Okay. So some of the things that we'll talk to the homeowner about is, we're trying to find out if they're going to listen to music, the types that we can do. We can do invisible speakers, we can do discrete opening. We're trying to figure out if they're doing any kind of video solutions in the kitchen or dining room. That's where the frame TVs come in. So sometimes it looks like, a TV, sometimes it looks like artwork. We also have mirrored TVs, the same thing. Looks like a mirror when you're not using it, and all of a sudden, voila, there's the TV. Also, your lighting solutions, are you trying to do, controllable lights? Are you trying to do just lighting control through dimmers and switches and the keypads? Keypads are great if you're trying to do scenes. So in a more custom setting, which we're starting to see more and more in production homes, instead of wiring, a 5-gang switch, what we're seeing is one single gang keypad that's handling 6 or 7 different rooms. It's a nicer look, it's a much cleaner look, but it still has the performance and functionality and passes the code you need. You also get into voice control. More and more houses are being controlled through voice, whether it's Alexa, whether it's Google, whether it's Josh AI. And we walk all these potential solutions through with the customers. And then the last thing you want to think about, are you trying to do shades? Is it something we have to worry about wiring now? Is it, I don't know, but I might want to do it later, so then you bring in the wireless shades. All right, great rooms and family rooms. We do spend a lot of our time here. So same thing, we always talk about, how are you trying to live in this room? Is it about, I want lighting control, I want to watch movies, oh, I'm just really watching TV, the movies we're going to do downstairs, step by step. It's very methodical. The great thing about fireplace TVs now is I can do a frame TV, but I got a plan for it. We talked about it, you've got the box, it's a low voltage box, it's not your typical power. Where's that going to live? I can do, regular TVs. I can do sound bars. Sonos makes great sound bars we use a lot of, once again, because I can tie it in with in-ceiling speakers. While I can do wireless, sometimes I don't have the room for wireless. Sometimes I don't have the look for wireless. That's why we come in and walk them through. Where's it going to live? What are you trying to do? This is also a great place for window treatments as well. I like hard-wired TV locations, especially in the main use ones. Make sure you're putting a data jack to that TV over the fireplace. When you sit there and say, oh, I can do Wi-Fi. Yes, you can. How many people are in the house? Every person nowadays has at least 4 to 6 wireless devices. Watch, phone, iPad. Times that by every person in the house. times it by the appliances, times it by the hot water heater, the thermostat, you name it, it's going on Wi-Fi. Nowadays, cars are getting their downloads and updates through Wi-Fi. Pull your Tesla into the car or into the garage. As soon as there's a download, boom, it takes it. So do you want to stream your Netflix and watch, as I call it, the spinning wheel of death while your Tesla updates? No, you don't. Hardwire your TVs. Bars and game rooms. These are all entertainment areas. So same thing. Are you trying to do TVs? Is it just one? Is it multiple ones? You know, you have to think about that. How are we living in here as far as our entertaining? But it's the same things. It's lighting control, it's making sure Wi-Fi is strong, and then really making sure that the entertaining experience that you want is achieved. And the only way we can do that is by asking the questions.
And Tony, your process for working with, you work with both custom builders and production builders, or
it's the same.
For the production builders, though, you're installing a full suite of products, including all the AV and such. And like, so what is your process like? Is it close to what we heard from National Guardian yesterday? They're more security centric, though, but you get a quality at bat, and then based on that at bat, there's going to be a percentage rebate coming back to the builder on the selection. And that at bat takes place at a good time so that the production can be handled without disruption. Is that your process, or is there something a little different?
Typically it's based on the builder themselves. They kind of tell us how it works, because we're your partner. We're also, you know, who you are expecting to deliver. So that's the conversation you set up ahead of time. So every one of my builders, for the most part, works about the same. Where it differs is the percentage of rebates. Some are 10%, some are 15%, some are 20%. So we know that going in. And every client we meet with, they're seeing pricing that has that all factored in. So we're giving pricing direct. It's all set up on PO systems and all that, so we don't have to worry about that. It's always done before the pre-con meetings, just like any other selection, whether it's cabinetry, whether it's, you know, flooring, whether it's, you know, paint colors. The builder wants to have all of these selections figured out, so when they release it to start and digging the hole, it's all made. It's all the selections are there. Everybody knows what the pricing is. Nobody likes late changes. Now, some builders will do electrical walks. I don't know, do you guys do electrical walks?
We do.
Okay. So that's, you know, the second bite of the apple. We can always look to, you know, add things there. But usually when we do electrical walks, they are preset items. There's no custom bids. You know, those are done in the original meeting. If you want something a little more custom, great. My builders don't care because, well, they're getting 20% of it, you know. Right. But those meetings are beneficial to everybody because the homeowner knows exactly what they're going to get. They can tell us what they want. Pricing's there. They see it. They sign off on it. It goes to the builder. And now they don't have to worry about it until we're moving in and getting everything set up for them. So it's a general process. We'll make it work with whatever the builder needs. You know, if you tell me 3 weeks after, you know, we sign on the house, you know, we sign that contract, I need selections done, great. We just make sure that if we're having problems with the homeowner and we're communicating to the builder, that you're there to be the hammer. Say, you gotta get this signed. And I've seen it done with six-figure systems. I've seen it done with, you know, $600 systems. The builder tells them, you sign it or you get nothing. They sign. You know, that's just the way it is. I'm sure everybody is understanding this and experiencing this. People are becoming more and more averse to making decisions. So we need the support from the builder to basically help that.
Okay.
But it also is the last true area where builders can make profits. Costs keep going up, price keep going up.
Right.
And if you're building this, used to be a $600,000 house and it's costing $1 million to a client, it better perform like one because that's their perceptions.
When customers are willing to invest at that point, because think about how difficult it is to tear up the walls, have things rewired afterwards. You know, the cost, we do have probably a bigger markup when it does come to items like that that aren't tangible items that they can go price against competitors because of the convenience. It's so much easier to have it done prior to drywalling the walls and finishing everything. So definitely a great feature for our customers.
Well, and we package everything together, so you don't see an itemized list of everything that goes into that system. You see a one price for, here's a 3-room audio system. Everything you need, all I need is the internet installed to make it work. You know, there you are, it's this price. So it makes it more difficult to shop so much on the internet. And we try and stay away from products that are like that. So in a great room, family room setting, you know, we try and figure out where's the TV going, what kind of audio solutions we need to worry about, lighting solutions, you know, voice control, shades, whole 9 yards. Basically, room by room, you'll have the very similar products that should go in there. It's just a matter of how the homeowner is trying to live. All right, master suites, beds and baths, same thing. I want to make sure that, you know, TVs have hardwired connections. We are seeing more and more the old coax is going away. Cable companies don't even like giving out boxes anymore. So everything's off an app, or they have a streaming box, very similar to like a Roku or an Apple TV. I don't know if your markets are doing that, but I know St. Louis is.
Mine is, yeah.
Yeah. So you can probably ditch the coax. It's unnecessary unless you're doing a hardwired subwoofer, and it's just a different connection at that point. Some people do, every once in a while we run into it. Usually it's age demographics, but they do like a hardwired phone jack sometimes still. If they do, we put it in the bedroom.
What's that?
I know.
It's next to the fax machine.
Yeah.
Usually it's older than Gen X and down. I'm serious.
They have the multi-micro cohort discussion, I guess.
Yeah, Gen X and down, I've never seen a phone jack go in. But same thing, it's like with the bedroom, yes, I'm gonna have a TV. I'm gonna mount it up high, that way I can see it easier at the bed level, or I've got a piece of furniture I want it over. You know, is the room gonna be voice controlled? I know to your point, you don't like it so much.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Yeah,
It's just,
sure.
once again, it's personal preference.
yeah.
You know, are we doing shades? Are they gonna be wired, hardwired, you know, wireless? What do you need? But it's just methodical, room by room. Your turn.
Thank you. Well, as we went through the presentation, there was just so much that I agree with. And in going through, we developed, with our customers, we saw the need for technology. And I think one of the big components is they're buying a new home. They expect their home to come with basic features, and they expect their home to be better than a resale home that they're going to have to retrofit. So about 5-6 years ago, we took on an initiative to just look at what are those components that we're going to include in every single one of our homes nationwide. And this kind of breaks down what our program is. We looked at how are they going to control the system. Wi-Fi, I think, is the biggest component. You're absolutely right. We do need hardwired areas, especially for TVs, offices, if we know that they're going to be working in those areas. But how many of you are actually sitting at a desk working in a certain area consistently? We're on laptops. We want to be able to work around our homes, and all the components in our homes are now Wi-Fi. So we have someone come out when we're looking at the designs of our plans to figure out how do we make sure there's no dead spots in the house, and we include our Eros Wi-Fi system. It's built in, it's already in the ceiling, so they don't have to deal with having plugins around the house, but it provides a full house Wi-Fi mesh that really gives them the capability of being able to use everything without having those dead zones in their home. So I think that's one of the biggest components. Also, door lock systems, you've seen them, Ring doorbells, door lock systems, being able to access through. So we'll kind of go through that. But lighting is a huge component as well. And when we looked at lighting, we wanted our customers, we didn't know how excited are they going to be about the lighting. So we picked 3 designated rooms, and our divisions have the capability of deciding which ones best suit that floor plan. So every time we're creating new plans, they take a look to figure out what are those 3 areas they're going to place those in. And from there, our customers have the capability of upgrading. So we do want that upgrade capability, but providing them a standard package of including those 3 rooms really gets them in the door, talking about those capabilities, being able to educate them on what that comes with, and then being able to offer them packages to be able to have their entire home offer those systems has been huge for us. Climate control, being able to set it on their phones, And then kind of breaking through the appliances, Wi-Fi appliances, being able to set your oven when you're driving home to make sure that it's ready so when you get home you can throw whatever it is that you're going to be cooking that evening in has been a huge component. In our California divisions, we do have solar. So now we have solar and battery packs. Thank you, California. Then we do have sprinkler systems that are automatically set up with their phones that they can set up. If it's raining, they can turn it off. They can set a different schedule. So those are some of the components that we include. And this is just another style of it. But in going through, a lot of these components, let me go back one, are not visible to the eye. So when you look at that kitchen, you really don't see it. So I think one of the big things is educating your teams. When you do have these components included, it's so important that your teams talk about these features, that you have supporting collateral that really discusses it as well. Because walking through the model, you wouldn't realize that those appliances are Wi-Fi, that there is the Wi-Fi system already built in, that there are switches on the walls that have that capability. We use the Alexa with our package. We wanted to offer our customers the flexibility of being able to use whatever hub they're used to. So by providing them the Alexa, they are able to set up those schedules in their homes. They're able to do a lot of capabilities. You know, in the kitchen cooking, what's that recipe? If they forgot that recipe, or being able to call the kids down from their rooms to get them downstairs for dinner. So it's been a huge component for us. We also do the garage. How many times have you left your house and you don't know if you closed that garage door? So I think that's been a huge component for our buyers as well. But being also able to have the ease that if someone's going to drop something off, being able to open up the garage using your phone has been huge. So we use LiftMaster and Genie for our automation, our Wi-Fi automation for our garage door openers. And the door locks, as I mentioned before, in the ring for security. That's the system installed in one of our plans. So it shows you how easy, it's just up in the ceiling. It's out of the way, which makes it easy. And again, showing our floor plans, there's so much technology built into that room, but you wouldn't know it if you didn't really hear about it. So I think it's extremely important to educate your teams to talk about these features and to really offer them additional packages that will make their lives easy, that meets their needs. Absolutely right. Sitting down with them and finding out what's important to them, how do they plan on using these spaces, and being able to provide them those extra tools that will make the efficiency of those rooms, I think is huge.
Yeah, and you mentioned packages because that's how we start. We have different packages, whether it's security, whether it's audio, whether it's video, and it gives them a starting point. And then from there, oh, you know, here's a home theater package. It's, you know, we'll mount the TV, the mount's already there. We've got a Sonos soundbar, we've got a pair of speakers, we've got a Sonos amp to tie it all together. Basically everything except the TV. Yep. Then the homeowner either brings their own or buys one from us after they move in. Because, you know, mortgages don't really like TVs
We
on them.
found bigger take rates when we do offer packages. When we offer packages, it's not individual items. There's actually a bigger take rate. So when it's a 3-room package or a 2-room package, customers will tend to go to that versus having to pick individual items. We do it differently across the country, but we've seen a better take rate when we do package things together for our customers.
Yeah. And do you do any kind of like onboarding with the products? Like when do you show them kind of, if technology might be new to them,
we do.
You show them how to like hook things up, or does everything already kind of come?
We do. Some of our divisions offer the white glove, so the full service of having actually our integrators will come out and actually educate the homeowners, set up the accounts with them.
Nice.
It's been hit and miss. In some of the markets, we have better success with that. It's hard to get the appointments, to be honest with you, and have them meet the customer's needs and expectations quickly after they close escrow. So in others, we've provided them a guide, a QR code guide on how to be able to download with videos of the product that shows them how it's all integrated and gives the buyer the ease that if they're eager and they want to go ahead and set everything up on day one, they have that capability of doing so.
So for us, we actually don't have that issue. So we train the homeowners for every system we set up, okay? And it's step by step. So once we trim that house, so we're putting plates on, things like that, covering all the holes, we're reaching out to the homeowner to say, have you got your closing date yet? Now, a lot of times we'll get schedules, closing schedules from our builders too, so we have an idea. Excuse me.
And that's our white glove service when we do provide
Right.
it.
But from there, we're like, okay, make sure you get your internet set up, sure you get your cable provider out there. Your closing dates here will be on this date. Just a day after you get all your services set up, we'll teach you how to use everything, bring in all the final equipment because we don't install it until they close on the house to prevent it walking away. It does happen. And then we just spend the time, show them how to use everything. And then that way for the next year, they know they can call us directly instead of having to bother the builder for warranties and things like that.
In our active adult markets, it's been crucial. We've kept the white glove.
Sure.
So we're out of time. I have to give a hot take on your presentation because Janet didn't even have a presentation prepared. She sent me a bunch of pictures.
That was on purpose. I wasn't
Katie
supposed to.
Beckman from our team put together in a couple of slides. And then she just rattles through this with all of this system and process knowledge, right? Which is, she knows what she's talking about. Shea's been working on these ideas for years. And it's like another category. It's not a foreign planet to you all, right? And it shows, and that's why you get the sell-through rates that you get and the customer satisfaction. So we need more Sheas. And I'm sure you all out there are aspiring to it. Really appreciate everybody's contributions. Appreciate Level and their cool, invisible technology play on the lock side of things. And so thanks to all, and it's off to boardroom presentations. Your group leaders are outside. Go to the number that corresponds with your badge number, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.